24. Okay, so the problem of the day was Roberto and Steve counted the pennies they have been saving for 5 years. Roberto has 52,781 pennies, and Steve has 58,972 pennies. About how many pennies do they all have together? Who knows what kind of math problem this was, Fatima? Addition. So what numbers did you add together? Okay, and what did you get for your answer?
This is Elizabeth Berry, 12:15 on Monday, September 8th. This is her first observation.
1 plus 2. Okay. 8 plus 7. Good. So how do you say that number? 100. 111. Good. 111,753 was your answer for your problem of the day. So you should have wrote the whole sentence. They have 111,753 pennies. Okay? Today is the 24th day of school. Is it odd or even?
Even.
Okay. What are the factors that go into 24?
24 times 1.
Okay. 24 times 1, what else, Maya? 12 times 2. Are there any more? 6 times 4, 4 times 6. Are there any more? 3 times 8, good. So this has a lot, doesn't it? What are there? No, that's everything. Okay, so all the factors are what? 1, 2,
3, 4, 6, 8,
12, 24. So we're gonna need, this is gonna be a long strip, isn't it? Okay. So first we need to get the even one because you said it was even. What's the next shape that we need to get out?
2, heart,
Alright, and then what?
a triangle,
Ah. Alright, a triangle and then what?
square,
Alright, what's after the square?
hexagon,
Alright, the hexagon and then the... Who said a star? We don't need a star. 5. 5 is a star. But 5 is not a 5.
clock,
The clock.
the clock.
coffee can eat. Okay, and then is it prime or composite?
Composite.
Okay. Standard form, expanded form, and written form. Who can read the number? Celso, can you turn around and read this number? No, this number.
600,509.
Okay, and did you write it in standard form?
Yes.
What'd you write?
6, 0, 0, and a comma, and a 5, and a 0, and a 9.
Very good. And did you write it in expanded form?
Yes. 600,000 plus 500 plus 9.
600,000 plus 500.
100 plus 9.
Okay, is this what everyone else got?
Yes.
All right, rounding. Who can say this number for me? Nidian, can you say this number?
4,100.
Good. Can you round it to the nearest 10? Well, we need to round it to the nearest tens place. So if we're rounding this place right here, we need to look at this 4. Does it round up or down? So if it's 104 and it rounds down, it's just going to be what? It's going to just go to 100. So it'll be 44,100 because this number has to round down. Okay? Who can round it to the nearest 100? Lord. Yep, 44,100. It's going to be the same answer. Because we're looking at this place, and it's a 0, so it doesn't round up. It's going to stay the same. Who can round it to the thousands? Jacob. 44,000. Good. Does anyone need to see them on the number line? Do we need to write any of them out on the number line? Everyone got the right answers?
Yes.
Okay, measurement. 1 foot is 12 inches. KOC, so how many inches is 6 feet? Good, 72. What about 3 feet? Timing. Good, 36 inches. What about 9 feet? Fatima. 108. Good. And 2 feet is how many inches, David? Good, 24. All right, 1 hour is 60 minutes. So if you have 6 hours, how many minutes is that? No. 6 hours, and there's 60 minutes each, Amaya. 360, good. You have to multiply 60 times 6 to figure it out. If you have 540 minutes, how many hours is that? What? Yes, you said? Good. 9 hours is 540 minutes. If you have 11 hours, how many minutes do you have? Okay, see some? Good. 660. And if you have 2 minutes, how many hours is that?
0.
It's not a full hour. It's just a little tiny piece of an hour, right? Okay. Draw the figure circled and how many sides does it have? Did everyone draw their triangles?
Yes.
Let me see. How many sides does it have?
3.
Good. Good. Okay. Table 1, you can go back to your table. And when you get to your table, you can put your math folders away and get your math journals out. fourth. Math journals, come on, math notebook. So, put it away. Okay, do you remember last week when we did our multi-digit addition problems and we used our number line?
Yes.
Well, now we're gonna do the same thing with subtraction, okay? So, say you have the problem. $85,764 minus $34,451. Go ahead and write this down in your notebook. This is going to be our first problem. All right, write your problem and then draw your number line. Think about when we did it with addition. What was the first thing that we did when we had our problem? 34. Which is what? The smallest or the biggest number? Good. So expand the smallest number. So we're going to get 30,000 plus 4,000 plus 400 plus 50 plus 1. All right, so with addition, we started on this side because we were getting bigger. We were adding. Now, since it's subtracting, we have to start on this side and go back because we're subtracting. We're taking away. We're getting smaller. So it has to go the other way, okay? So we're going to start with our first point down here. 85,764. Keep writing this as I'm writing it in your notebooks so that you can have it to look at. And we're going to take away our first number from our expanded form. So subtract 30,000 from this 85,000. Do you have a question? Or you want to answer it? What did you get for the answer? Good. 55,764. So the same way with our addition problems, we're doing the same way with subtraction. That answer is now your next point. So draw your next point and write the new number up there. And we're going to subtract our next number in expanded form, 4,000. Paul? 50. Good, 51,764. All right, make that your next point. Write your new number, 51,764, and subtract the 400 from it. Can't see so? Good, 364, and make your new point. Minus 50, Kimberly. Good, 14, 314. 51,314 subtract what? Salsa. Good, take the 1 away. And write your answer next to the original problem that you wrote down. $51,313. Does that make sense? Because it's the same way we did it with addition, just using subtraction. Does that make sense to everyone? Alright, let's do another one. Finish up that one and draw another number line for the next one. $290. 764 minus what? Right? What's the answer? Does this make a little bit of sense to you? I know you weren't here when we did the addition. See how you just do it at the same time and add them. You can do it the same with addition, just the other way. We can do some other problems if you need more help with it. Are you also writing this problem? Okay. You okay? You get it? All right. Are y'all ready to work this problem together? Okay. So what's the first thing we're gonna do? Expand which one, Paul? Good, 33,644. And what'd you get when you expanded it?
30,000.
Plus, plus. Good. Okay, so what's our first point gonna be? Who knows what our first point's gonna be? Fatima? Okay, is it gonna go down here? No, it's gonna go down here. Okay, so make your first point, 53,914. And what are we gonna subtract from it, Fatima?
30,000.
Minus 30,000. And what'd you get? KFC self.
23,940.
All right, make your next point. Now what are we gonna subtract from it? Kimberly? What?
3,000.
3,000. What's 23,914 minus 3,000, Kimberly?
20,914.
Good. Make another point. And subtract what from it? I need some more people to answer. It's the same 3 people answer in Celso.
600.
Alright, subtract 600. Celso, what'd you get?
20,314.
Good. 20,314. Now what do we do? Zion, what do we do next? Do you know with this number?
20,000. It's gonna be a 10.
Good. 20,000. It's our next point, and you subtract 314 minus 40. Zion, what'd you get when you subtracted the 40?
2,000.
Good. 2,274. Because you had to regroup. You had a 1 minus 4, so you have to change the 3 to a 2, change the 1 to an 11 so that you're able to subtract. Now we have a new point. Who hasn't answered yet? Nathan, do you know what we do now? Good. 20,274 minus 4. And what'd you get, Nathan? 20,000.
20,207.
Good. 20,270. Alright. I'm going to give you one to work by yourself now, and then we're going to see if everyone gets the same answer, okay? So here's your next problem. Can everyone see this? Write this down and work it in your books.
on your problem. Thank you. What do you need to do with the smallest number? So how do you know what do you need to subtract from each time? Okay, first write a minus sign, because this is all one problem. So if you're subtracting this from this, you need this in expanded form so that you can know which step to do for each point so that you can get to the final answer. You ready? We're gonna put it in expanded form, the smallest number. Do you have a question or are you finished? So if it's 42,737. So if it's 2 minus 9, how are you gonna get this 2 to be big enough? Yeah, you're gonna borrow from the 4. Do you have a question or are you finished? Mm-hmm. Now make your line. So do you see that? Okay, you understand? Do you have questions or are you finished? Okay, I'm coming to look at it. You can put your hands down. Are you finished? Now look at that one. Okay, you added your 9,000 right here, so this is actually you added 10,000. Look at right here again. You subtracted the 20,000, so it's 43,737. Now you need to subtract 9,000 from this number. You change that number. Good. Good. How are y'all doing? Okay, so now what do you need to subtract? You subtract the 9,000. If you write this out in expanded form, it's gonna help you a lot. Are you finished yet? This one? Alright, so what do you need to do now? You need to do your next point. Oh, subtract this. And then get to your next point. No, the 4 wouldn't become a 0. You only borrowed 1 from it. You didn't borrow all 4. If you only borrowed 1, then what would it become? Yep. Yeah, because if you borrow the 1, then the number next to it gains the 1. We're gonna do it together so you can see. Yeah, then you need to subtract it. Close. We're gonna do it together so you can see it.
And then it's gonna be the same number.
So for -2 right here. Yeah, this is right. Bring all these numbers down and then 6 minus 2 is what?
Okay, let's do it together so that we can all see it. What was the first thing that you did?
Expanded form.
Alright, what was your expanded form?
20,000
Mm-hmm.
plus 9,000
Mhm.
plus 200 plus 40,000 plus 40 plus 5.
Okay, what was your first point, Jose?
62
1,000.
737.
Good. And what'd you subtract from it?
20,000.
Good. What'd you get from that, Fatima?
42,737.
Alright. What'd you subtract this time? So 42,737 is your new point. Subtract what? Maya? 9,000. And what'd you get from that? You didn't get to finish it? Okay, KFC, so what did you get from this one? Zion, help her.
33,737.
Good, 33,737, because you had to regroup. So you bring the 7, the 3, and the 7 down, and then you have 2 minus 9, which you can't do. Borrow from the 4, it becomes a 3, and the 2 becomes a 12. So then it's 12 minus 9, Maya. And bring it down. Alright, what's your next point? Oh, that is your next point. What did you subtract from it? So.
It was 200.
Good. And what'd you get?
I got 33,537.
Good. And then what'd you subtract next?
I subtracted 40.
Alright, and what'd you get, Nidian?
I got 33,497.
Good. And the last one you subtracted? What? Beautiful.